What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. Another one. Yo, people, today we want to talk about the BELA Act, right? And why it's causing such a war in the education field. Guys, it just doesn't make sense at all, you know? Some people are for it, some people are not for it. What is the divide? What is the problem? What is the issue? And what is at the core of this problem? Guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we're family, right? So let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. You know what I mean? Because it's got South Africans talking. And there's another slight talking point about the demonstration, about the protest that went on in Pretoria at the monument. So yeah, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get into that next. But you know how we do. Let's have some fun. Holla. Sure. Okay. So as far as I know, or as far as I can see, right, the BELA Act is supposed to be something good, something great for the country. At least that's the way the government is seeing things, right? But there's a certain section of society, of the population, that doesn't see it the same way as the government sees it. So here's my thing. My thing is, we're supposed to be doing things differently, but then some people don't see it that way. Okay, so what is at the heart of this problem? Simple, straightforward. Language, culture. That is what is at the heart of the problem. But at the onset, that is not the way it appeared to be. Because, to be honest, certain things are underlying, while other things are being treated as the toppings, if I may put it that way. Because they don't come outright and say what the real heart of the problem is, right? And some would say, arguably, racism is at the core issue of this problem. Simply because certain individuals can be allowed, will be allowed, while others cannot be allowed into certain schools. You see, and that is at the heart of this problem. Now, it's been sugar coated with language, it's been sugar coated with culture, it's been sugar coated with tradition, and the moral decay that keeps cropping up in South African politics, in South African society, and South African life is always going to be the difference between the cultures. And certain cultures don't want to be inclusive, while others want to be inclusive. Okay, so how do we fix this? Simple. Some are saying, let's go out and create cultural schools. Why don't we have schools for Afrikaans only speaking people? Some saying, why do we have to have Afrikaans only schools when we can have schools that teach everything in one school? Well, there's two ways we can look at this, right? We can look at it and say, it's nice to be taught in your mother tongue. It's nice to be taught in a school that treasures your values, your traditions, your culture, you celebrates you as your tribe, right? That should be a beautiful thing. I mean, if we can get schools and institutions that only spoke Zulu, that only spoke Sutu, that only spoke English, that would be beautiful, right? Fortunately, it's just not possible. It can't happen because we live in a global village. We live in a global society. So we cannot have only just one type of people in a space. Doesn't work that way. We are in Africa. We cannot be living by the standards of other continents because other continents don't live by our standards. So why should we implement their standards if they don't implement our standards? So I always say, people that want to be exclusively exclusive to a certain project, to a certain demographic, it's fine. Be exclusive all you want, but just not in Africa. It's just not going to happen because in Africa, it's all about village. Like they say in Africa, right? It takes a child to raise a village, or it takes a village to raise a child. Now, what I find disturbing, or what I find shocking, is that these very people that don't want black kids in their schools have black people working and raising their kids in their homes. Now, how do you justify that? You understand what I'm saying? See, if you're going to be racist, right, your racism got to make sense. Like I always say, if you want to go the whole 9 yards with racism, employ only people of your race, starting in your home, in your business, in your everyday life. Do not mix and mingle with other race groups. Guys, come on. I always say the same thing, right? Everybody has a little type of discrimination or racism within them. It's natural, it's disguised as tribalism, it's racism, it's colorism, it's all these fancy things. And it all just comes down to one thing, it's just a dislike or a certain thing for other race groups. It doesn't matter what you call it, right? We can be subtle about it, right? As most people are. They don't openly come out and use the N word, the K word, whatever word you use to describe other race groups or whatever it is. You do it in the comforts of your home, the confines of your home, and the confines of your parents and friends and family, right? But my thing is this, when you go to the extent of wanting to create spaces that are exclusively only for a certain group of people, now that's going to the extremes. Come on. This is not 1990 and going backwards. This is 1994 coming forward. Such things should be outlawed, really should be outlawed. And the government needs to take a hard stance on this. Out with the whole cultural argument, out with the whole language argument. We are now going for one, going for all. Everything's got to be inclusive. Any school that is built, any institution that is built will include all 11 official languages. Done. If you want to be taught math in Afrikaans, go to the same institution and that institution must make provision for that. If you want to be taught in Zulu and Xhosa and Sotho, whatever, that institution must make provision for that. But there'll be no such thing as this is the only university or this is the only. So that, man, guys, come on. This is just people that have money, the budget, and people that run the means, people that own the means of production and run the economy, that are imposing their will on the less fortunate, and that is so unfair. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, if I'm on the money or if I've missed the mark totally. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe in the channel. You know how we do. Next, we get into the pros of having the BELA ball. Holla. Yo, how you doing? Are you good down there? Pros of the BELA ball, right? It brings inclusivity. I mean, the BELA ball, I don't see anything wrong with it. People are using it as a political ploy to gain political points. People are saying it's not a good thing, but yet are the talking points of the Bella Ball, right? Think about it like this: it's a melting pot of cultures, right? Anyone who lives within proximity of the schools or the institutions can attend those institutions. Anyone who can afford the fees can go to these institutions. Anybody who's got the transportation can go to these institutions. Sorry. Let's look at let's look at the management aspect of it. I just heard, I read somewhere, or is it a video? I seen a video somewhere where it says some teachers at Pretoria Girls High School don't even greet their black colleagues. Guys, this is disturbing. I mean, I can understand if you don't greet someone because you don't like Mary or Katie in finance, or you don't greet John in accounts, or you know. But to say you don't greet your black colleagues at all, and it's got nothing to do with work and all just to do with the color of skin, guys, it's 2024, and I can't believe we're still talking about race in this day and age. It's shocking, right? It's so shocking. But anyway, back to the billable. So the billable looks to include anybody and everybody who can afford, who lives in the area, and who is deemed worthy of attending these institutions. Right. That's the billable in a nutshell, right? It's about inclusivity. That's what the billable is about. If you can afford to go into an institution, if you live within the means, or you live around that institution, surely you should be allowed to attend that institution. Why should you be excluded from? Imagine living next door to a school, right? And you're not allowed to go to that school, but you live next door to the school. On what basis are you being denied? I mean, it's because you don't look the part. It's because you don't speak the language. I mean, come on. The pros of this thing is inclusivity. All are welcome. Everybody is welcome. Like Mandela said, we are a rainbow nation. So where's that Ubuntu? So let us be inclusive of everyone, despite their race, despite their culture, despite their language, despite anything, status, social, economic levels. Everybody should be included as long as they adhere to the rules and regulations of that institution. Inclusivity should be the main driving force and the factor behind it. Next, we get into the cons. You know how we do. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we're family, right? Holla. Ah, guys, the cons of the billable. I do not see any cons of the billable. For as long as it's got inclusivity all written all over it, I do not see any cons in the billable, none at all. Because to be honest, anything less than what the billable subscribes to is tantamount to racism. You know what I'm saying? There are certain things you may not like, and you cannot say to me that the whole bill as a whole should be scrapped. No, there are certain things we can discuss, there are certain things we can change, there are certain things we can remove, but the bill as a whole should be maintained, should remain in place. And that is the bill above. There are no cons to this thing. Yes, you may argue that no, we cannot only be having Africans. No, Africans should be. That is what I'm saying. Things can be discussed, things can be changed, things can be tolerated, things can be accepted, and things cannot be. The things that we do not accept, let's discuss and let's see where we can change them. And that's what they're seeking to do. But to say that the total bill itself is wrong, now you are wrong if you have that mentality. That is what I'm saying. There's no cons to the billable. It's only people looking to create cons for this billable because they want these institutions to be exclusive to certain groups of people or to a certain group of people. And the bottom line is this: the people that fight against the billable are simply coming from a racist point of view, and that cannot be allowed. And if the government gives in to these people about the billable, I promise you, they're going to give in to everything else. They've already given in about the land, they've already given in about the economy. What's next? The schools? Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we're family, right? Holla.